Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The topic of this session is Taiwan Image Forum, moving from soft power to warm power. In this session, we'll first invite Dr. Ellen Hao Yang, Executive Director of Taiwan-Asia Exchange Foundation, TAEF, to give us a plenary speech. The topic is the image of Taiwan and Taiwanese businesses in Southeast Asia, trends and insights. Please welcome Dr. Yang with a warm round of applause.
Chairman Xiao, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the day 2, the second day of the Yushan Forum. My name is Ellen Yang. I'm the Executive Director of Taiwan-Asia Exchange Foundation. I took the pleasure to serve as the plenary speaker of this very meaningful session on Taiwan image. So I think I would like to report a meaningful engagement that we have been doing since 2019 to understand how Taiwan is perceived by Southeast Asian countries and by our neighbors in the new southbound policy partner region. And today, my topic will be how Taiwan is perceived by Southeast Asian country, and I will provide the configuration of a cross-national comparison. Well, Taiwan is very famous for good food, but definitely it's more than the good food. I think friends from afar, you may observe that the hospitality of the good people that you meet during the past 2 or 3 days. So we have good food, we have good people, and more importantly, we are more than willing to do good things together with partners and friends. And starting from 2016, when the then President Tsai Ing-wen has advocated the new southbound policy, the people-centered new southbound policy. The government-led flagship program, including economic engagement, public health, education, agriculture, and also the social connectivity, enrich Taiwan's engagement with our new southbound policy partner countries. Apart from this government-led program, Taiwan-Asia Exchange Foundation, as the think tank of the new southbound policy, we have installed our own 5 action plans, including think tank engagement, civil society connectivity, regional resilience focus on disaster prevention and disaster preparedness, as well as the Young Leader Program and art and cultural exchange. And those 5 action plans accumulate momentum of friendships and institutional partnership. And that turn into the action and also the plan for the cooperation. And this year's Yushan Forum, with the main theme of the new southbound policy, plus with a few feature remark on what is the plus, the meaning of plus. And that meaning shows the new instrument, such as the 6 corridors and strategies, including digital technology, healthcare, resilience, think tank, NGO and youth, and the transformation and progress of the new southbound policy to new southbound policy plus will pave a new future for Taiwan's partnership with our neighbors. And that also demonstrates enhanced cross-sectoral synergy between public sector and also the civil society in Taiwan and the region. Starting from 2019, as the think tank of NSP, Taiwan-Asia Exchange Foundation, we continuously conducted the Taiwan Image Survey Project by conducting the survey and the survey, as well as the in-depth interview and focus group discussion with specific countries. So every year we pick up one Southeast Asia country to explore how Taiwan's image and Taiwanese business image has been perceived by the elite, by the civil society of our targeted country. We started from Vietnam in 2019, 2020 in Indonesia, 2021 in Thailand, 2022 in Singapore, and then Malaysia. And last year, we just concluded our survey in the Philippines. And we are eager to learning from our neighbors, our partners, on how they look at Taiwan and what kind of the improvement that Taiwan, the government and also our private sector and civil society can work hard to improve ourselves. So let me share with you with today's report and update of the 6 country comparative studies. And the very beginning is the primary image associated with Taiwan. Number 1 is the food. So just as I mentioned, we have good food, bubble tea, and also delicacy. And number 2 is more popular, is also very popular, that is advanced high tech. And number 3 that we found from the big data we gathered in Indonesia's tourism. But apart from those primary image, what are other image of Taiwan? We use our research design to install in the survey to explore the perception. So this is the some of the results that we found from the thematic dichotomy. Such as we ask the question, what is your overall image of Taiwan? Please rate where Taiwan lies on the following dichotomy from 1 to 0, such as friendly and unfriendly, technologically advanced, technologically backward, and free and democratic, and not free and not democratic, rich and poor, open, conservative. And those are the comparative, the thematic dichotomy that we ask the respondent. And we gather the information, and I will summarize what we found in today's speech. Also, we apply the same logic to Taiwan Business Survey. So this is the final findings, comparing the top 3 favorable perception. They rate number between 1 to 5. In the case of Vietnam, Taiwan's most favorable perception is in emphasizing on honesty and complying with regulation and internationalized. In the case of Indonesia, you may see that technologically advanced, liberal, and advanced healthcare rank the top 3 favorable perception of Taiwan in Indonesia's elites. And number 3 is the Thailand case, technologically advanced, friendly, respect for law and order. In the case of Singapore, Taiwan is perceived of being friendly, respectful for multiculturalism, and technologically advanced. In the case of Malaysia, 2023, technologically advanced, friendly, and advanced healthcare. And for the Philippines, technologically advanced, and Taiwan has been regarded as being respectful to the rule and law, and then friendly. So that is the image of Taiwan among this region, this country elite. And then when we comes up those survey to Taiwanese business image, you can also see that emphasizing honesty, innovative, comply with regulation, trustworthy are the familiar, frequently seen favorable perception of Taiwan. So these are the country-based examination that we did through the survey. And apart from this country-specific survey, we also do the comparative study. For example, we compare Taiwan's image with the top 10 to top 15 foreign investors in the specific country. And then try to locate how Taiwan has been ranked among those international investors. And we find some encouraging result that Taiwan usually ranked top 3, among top 3 for our partner country in Southeast Asia. And Taiwan business image even ranked higher, is among top 1 or top 2. So I will share with you quickly the cross-country comparison, the ranking, comparing with other 10 to 15 foreign investors. For example, in the case of the top performers is, in the case of Thailand, Taiwan ranked number 1 out of the top 11 investors. And in the case of Vietnam, Taiwan ranked number 2 among the 10 top investors. And in the case of Philippines that we just concluded, Taiwan ranked number 3 out of the 10 foreign investors. The result similarly goes to the image of Taiwan business, such as Taiwan ranked number 1, Taiwan business image ranked number 1 in Thailand, number 2 in Vietnam, and also in the Philippines, number 3 in Malaysia. And I would like to come to a very short summary for the comparing and concluding remarks. A few points that I would like to make. Number 1, the image of Taiwan and the image of Taiwan business among our 6-country survey are very highly correlated. As a middle power, Taiwan's performance work well and enjoy a trustworthy image. So you can tell from those survey results the perception, favorable perception of Taiwan from the dichotomy analysis. You can find Taiwan enjoy a trustworthy image. And those favorable image, including being technologically advanced, I think that is also one of the contribution made by the semiconductor supply chain and also other smart solution provider experiences of Taiwan. So technologically advanced, friendly, honest, complying with the regulation and respecting to the law and order of the host country. And in addition, Taiwan business has been a key stakeholder in the regional production network as well as the global supply chain, just as what President Lai Ching-te delivered the opening remark yesterday that Taiwan's economic strength and network will be more globalizing. And enjoying favorable image of being trustworthy, honest, innovative, and also respect to the law and regulation. Although those favorable perceptions are quite encouraging and very positive, but we still need to scrutinize ourselves. There is still some reminder from the survey to improve Taiwan, improve ourselves in some field, such as corporate social responsibility, environmental protection, as well as taking better care of the local workers. I think the people-centered new southbound policy between 2016 to 2024 under the leadership of President Tsai Ing-wen helps promote a better image of Taiwan, while the warm power practice matters in facilitating the connectivity between Taiwan and its neighbors. And what is the connotation of the warm power, which we advocate during the past years that cover two elements, two features. Number one feature is to share the warmth to the partners in demand. That's the key element of the warm power. And number two is to keep Taiwan central in our neighbors' daily, everyday life, and not make Taiwan indispensable. And through the past 8 years, we found Taiwan has not only been indispensable, but become more reliable and predictable to our partners. We expect that the implementation of the new southbound policy plus will reinforce the more favorable image of Taiwan and Taiwanese business with the practice of economic and technology diplomacy, and also with the extension of the 6th corridor that I mentioned earlier. I think I should stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yang, for your insights and sharing. Please return to your seat. So as mentioned by Dr. Yang, and thank you so much to TAEF for creating this really interesting and insightful report. We now know that Taiwan's attraction lies in not just our food, tourism, in our high-tech, but also in some of the important traits such as honesty, innovation, compliance with the law, and trustworthiness. And as mentioned before, definitely there is room for improvement. For example, the CSR, our protection for the environment and care for the local workers. But what we need to do is to think about how we can turn these traits into concrete actions so that we can make Taiwan shine in the world and force greater cooperation with our NSP partners and the world. So moving on, we're going to move on to the panel discussion. Now we would like to invite our moderator to the stage, Ms. Christy Zunzi, Director of the Taiwan-Asia Studies Center, Zhonghua Institution for Economic Research. Please welcome her with a warm round of applause. And now we're going to invite a panelist to the stage, Honorable Yit Wei Kiat, Trade Representative of Singapore Trade Office in Taipei. Honorable Asnifa Isnariat Binti Abdul Ghani, President Representative of the Malaysian Friendship and Trade Center in Taipei. Welcome. Mr. Sun Aron Ruxdi Chai, Deputy Executive Director of Thailand Trade and Economic Office. Welcome. Mr. Eko Wijanarko, Director of Investment Department of Indonesia Economic and Trade Office to Taipei. Next is Mr. Le Quan Thuan, Head of Economic and Investment Division of Vietnam Economic and Cultural Office in Taipei. Welcome. And Mr. Simon Wang, President and CEO of Taiwan External Trade Development Council, TAITRA. Welcome. So now I'd like to give the floor to the moderator, Director Xu.
Good morning, Chairman Xiao, Your Excellency, and also distinguished guests from Taiwan and also from abroad. My name is Christy Su. I'm the Director of Taiwan ASEAN Studies Center of the Zhonghua Institution for Economic Research. I want to welcome you to this very important session on the survey, as already reported by Director Alan Yang, on the image of Taiwan and Taiwanese business in some of the Southeast Asian countries. I want to first thank Ellen Yang for giving such an insightful and also very important report of what TAEF has done in the past 6 consecutive years of surveying Taiwan image in a very important destination of Taiwan's outbound investment in Southeast Asia. But due to time constraint, he can only share with you some of the snapshots of the important findings. So I would like to encourage you to go to TAEF's website to download the full report so you can have more comprehensive view of all the very important details analysis. They have, I understand that they have Chinese version as well as English version. So according to the latest statistic released by Asia, Taiwan Chamber of Commerce, 台湾亚洲商业总会 released end of last year, there are up to now the total number of registered members under the 10 Southeast Asian countries in their respective Chamber of Commerce reach around 8,200. And that is only the direct number of the registered member companies. Does not yet include the companies not registered, mostly large company. As some of you may know that some large company or listed company, they hardly participate the Taiwan Chamber of Commerce in abroad. And that also does not include some of the very important investment made through third countries. For example, we have a lot of investment in Southeast Asian countries through third countries, such as Hong Kong, such as Cayman Island. Still, that large number of 8,200 members reflect very important influence and also the number of actors in the front of bilateral relationship between Taiwan and this host country. And they also represent a very important influence. Previous speaker mentioned about the influence of quantity and also the influence of quality. So we do hope that kind of influence of quality will continue. And the report told us there are ways, there are areas that are regarded as favorable by the business professionals in this country. However, there are also areas that we need to import. So today we are very happy and we have 6 very distinguished panelists to join us in this session. And they are going to share with us their feedback and their thoughts on these respective findings and also some updates because some of the findings have been conducted 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So I would very much welcome they provide some updated thoughts on how they regard Taiwanese business and also Taiwanese operations in this selective country. So I would first like to invite Mr. Yip Ye Weijie. He's currently the trade representative of the Singaporean office in Taipei. So I remember when TAEF launched the report back in 2022, and Mr. Yip attended that ceremony and congratulate together with TAEF about this increasing and strengthening of bilateral relations between Singapore and also Taiwan. So I would like to invite Mr. Yip to give some of your thoughts.
Thank you. Very happy to be able to be here to share with you some of my observations and thoughts. First of all, I would like to commend TAEF for embarking on this series of surveys. I think it serves as a very useful reference point in terms of taking stock as well as charting out the next step for the new southbound policy. I recall attending the press conference 3 years ago when the TAEF published the results of the survey on perceptions in Singapore. And I was not surprised by the results, I think. But before I go into sharing some of my own comments, I just like to highlight 3 points about interpreting these survey results. First, especially for Singapore that I'm familiar with, the survey was conducted predominantly with people in the business sector and area experts. The point is that I think we should be a little bit careful about overgeneralizing some of these perceptions, because they may not necessarily reflect the full points of view from the wider public in Singapore. Second, I think we have to consider that amongst these countries, whether in terms of the history of interactions with China and the extensiveness of these interactions varies quite a bit. I think in Singapore we are fortunate to be quite familiar with Taiwan. I think this is not necessarily the case across all the southbound countries. I think this should be something that we should keep at the back of our minds. Third point is that there is a fairly wide variation in the levels of development as well as the nature of interactions between Taiwan and the new southbound countries. Again, this is another point that we should keep at the back of our mind when looking at the survey results. But that said, I think I am quite happy to note that I think the results, as I said, for the survey on Singapore is fairly reflective, in my view, of the general perceptions of Taiwan and Taiwan businesses. And I say this also based on my own experiences over the last 5 years that I've been in Taiwan, interacting with Singapore companies and people who have been traveling to Taiwan. I think many Singaporeans have a very positive impression of Taiwan in general. I think this is in a way reflected in the high volume of travelers from Singapore to Taiwan. I mean, they like Taiwan, they travel here, they have a lot of businesses with Taiwan partners. And, and also it reflected in the popularity of Taiwanese pop culture, Taiwanese food in Singapore. So just, for reference, I think since post-COVID and since Taiwan reopened its borders in the end of 2022, the number of travelers from Singapore to Taiwan has reached new record highs. And we are talking about more than 400,000 Singaporean travelers to Taiwan every year. To some people, 400,000 doesn't seem like a huge number, but if you consider the size of Singapore and Singapore population, we are talking about something like 11% of Singaporeans travel to Taiwan every year. And to put it in a different way, if we are talking about over a 9-year period, the number of travelers to Taiwan from Singapore would be equivalent to the total population of Singapore citizens. So that is the kind of interactions. But I think the high volume of travel also reflects the very close and robust cooperation between the businesses on both sides. Over the last 5 years that I've been here in Taiwan, the total trade between Singapore and Taiwan has increased by 50%. And that is from a very high base. We reached a record bilateral trade of $85 billion last year. Singapore is one of the top investment destinations for Taiwanese businesses, accounting for more than half of the total Taiwanese investments in Southeast Asia every year in recent years. I think one reason for this close economic cooperation relationship between the businesses is the high degree of complementarity between the Singapore and the Taiwanese economy. Another strong reason is the high comfort level between the businesses. Singaporean businesses regard their Taiwanese partners as reliable, trustworthy, and always ready to go the extra mile on what is asked of them. So if I may just, just end off by just making a couple of observations about how we want to move forward. I think Taiwanese businesses are very well known for their capability in production. But the fact is that there are many less known brands and Taiwanese businesses that are very important suppliers in the supply chain that many people do not know about. So the question is how for Taiwan and Taiwanese businesses to make themselves more prominent in terms of how well integrated they are into the global, regional and global economy. The second thing is on some of the softer industries. I think Taiwan has a lot to offer, but is not as well recognized outside of the region or outside of the Chinese-speaking communities. So the question then also is how they can maybe improve on their, adjust what they offer, as well as in how they project themselves in the international market. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, as Mr. Yip has mentioned, Taiwan's relation with Singapore has increased and strengthened a lot in the past decade. Singapore is still one of the only countries that we have established a bilateral trade agreement. We are looking forward to some others more, but probably will be difficult in the future. But having said that, I think we can go back to Mr. Yip, because right now our investment in Singapore concentrated in services and also in semiconductor. But as you mentioned, there are a lot more areas that both sides can further explore for stronger collaboration. And thank you very much. So, and I would like to invite our second panelist, Ms. Anifa Isnaria Abdul Ghani. He's currently the president or the representative of Malaysia Friendship and Trade Center in Taiwan. Malaysia actually has developed the longest relation with Taiwan in terms of our outbound investment into Malaysia. I think back into the 1970s. I remember the first ever registered Taiwan's outbound project was into Malaysia back in 1957. Okay, so and over the past decades, our investment and also trade relation with Malaysia have continued to increase, with Malaysia particularly now in the radar because Taiwan's semiconductor supply chain, including testing and packaging, now move over to Malaysia. So I want to invite Ms. Anifa Isnaria to comment and also give further thoughts of the survey, and probably not limited to the survey itself, but how you perceive Taiwan's performance and Taiwan's image in Malaysia, and how we can, based on that experiences, to go further.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Xu. First and foremost, allow me to thank the organizers for having us. This is my first time in the Yushan Forum. It's a bit overwhelming. Thank you, Chairman Xiao. And dignitaries, colleagues, everyone in the hall. Yes, the relationship between Malaysia and Taiwan in terms of exchange of people dates back in the 1950s. I think we can recall that I think the very first Malaysian student set foot here in Taiwan in late 1950s, and it has been steadily streaming since then. Now, just to put things in context, on the survey itself, I think Wei Kiat spoke most of things. I'm not so sure. I have much else to speak about. But I agree, this survey sets as some kind of foundation for us to see what is the image of Taiwan and Taiwanese business in Malaysia. And of course, as what was found in the study, that the image of Taiwan and Taiwanese businesses are intrinsically linked somehow. And, but on the survey, on the study, I think I believe the sample size and demographics serves as a very important foundation for the study. Why is that so? So similar to Singapore, but in a different scale somewhat. the Malaysian population is somewhat, well, it's very heterogeneous. So, you know, when you see some of the responses or the topographic top of the mind inputs or outputs of respondents, you sort of know where these responses are coming from which kind of demography. So it's sort of skewed to certain members of society, which may or may not be representative of a full-on survey of the entire, well, maybe that's not the intention, but still, if it's going to be a Malaysian perspective, then it should cover a more representative sampling point. That's just my first point. But that being the case, as I think as the study reflects, the sample, or about 130 odd respondents in this case, are predominantly in the manufacturing or non-manufacturing sectors. But I think it weighs heavier more on the manufacturing sector, and this is understandable. But I think that you know, moving along, I think the reality states that, you know, there's much more sectors that are also present in Malaysia from Taiwan. And of course, a lot of people would, you know, when they hear Taiwan, it synonymizes with high technology, precision engineering, high quality engineering, TSMC, semiconductors. So it's very synonymous. So it's almost as if that's an automatic reflex. But I think that it's not a fair representation of what kind of businesses are evident or present in Malaysia. I do not wish to dwell too much about the opinions, because I think it is what it is. Even in my interactions, I mean, it may not be sufficient, but in my interactions with associations, with business associations, business SMEs, perhaps one of the few things that are not addressed in the study is how some SMEs feel that why Taiwanese businesses have been very successful in Malaysia is because of its cohesiveness. How one business are somehow linked very closely to another business, not just because it's part of its supply chain, but because of its origin, because they're Taiwanese. And because of that, they somehow knew, okay, I can trust this business, they can help me move forward. So this is one of the reasons why the Taiwan Chamber of Commerce in Malaysia has been very, very critical in this work. And I believe you can somehow attribute to the success of most of Taiwanese businesses, not just in Malaysia, but also other countries in Southeast Asia, to the function of this Chamber of Commerce. But in the case of Malaysia, this is what it is. They say that Taiwanese businesses are doing so well is because they're not outwardly competing with one another, even though they are in the same business, but they are cohesive. They stand together, they help each other. So that's this very unique trait in business that you don't always see this elsewhere. It's very uniquely Taiwanese. So I think this is one of those key things that that is also known amongst, I mean, at least the opinion of Malaysian businesses in Taiwan. Now, before I just end, I think that, you know, I think it's also good for the market, at least, to recognize, at least in Taiwan, that I think Taiwanese business, well, this also the image of what we've discovered amongst practitioners, or people in business, or people doing policy, is that Taiwanese business, or the Taiwanese business community has probably not fully realized its potential in their presence in Malaysia, because I think it's very skewed towards, well, there's a lot of E&E emphasis in the Malaysian scene, so, you know, those in the supply chain for E&E industry should then follow suit. But I think it's not a full story. I think everyone is just following the trend, but I think it's worthwhile for I think the Taiwanese business community to also fully be more immersive with what's really happening, because their presence in corporate Malaysia is very prominent. Their absence is prominent, and I think this can be. We can work something out to improve the visibility of what kind of other things that can be achieved together, apart from just this aspect. There's also green energy. There's also beyond manufacturing, we have logistics, and we have one player now in Malaysia, and that's doing very, very well. But I think we would like to have more of this kind of businesses to see its merit. With that, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think just quickly responding to Mr. Yen, also your comment that every survey has its limits. And for TAEF, they started the first ever quantitative survey of Taiwan's image in Southeast Asia, and they will continue to do so. So the first 6 surveys are targeting business professionals in this country, and also only for those who have already business relations with Taiwan, so they can respond to the questionnaire. But I think in the future, and I'm very happy that Chairman Xiao is here, and I believe that under the new Southbound Policy Plus, there will be more important needs here to know better of how, for example, the governmental and also the whole civil society, young generation perceive Taiwan and Taiwan image. And that provides a lot of work for for us in the future. So thank you very much, comments from Malaysia. And now I would like to invite the third speaker, Mr. Song Arunranstichai. He is currently the Deputy Executive Director of Thailand Trade and Economic Office in Taipei. And as shared by Alan Young's presentation, Thailand, very kind, provide very positive ranking for Taiwan image and Taiwan businesses. I think that reflects how close Taiwan and also Thai people have been exchanging in terms of tourism, in terms of student education exchange, and also in terms of our profound and very long-term investment in Thailand. So I would like to invite you to address a bit of how Taiwan businesses in Thailand have been operating, and based on the survey, and whether there are any things that we can further improve to move the bilateral relation further. So you may have the floor, please.
Thank you, Director Shi. Firstly, please allow me to congratulate everyone who organized the Yushan Forum this year. It has been a very successful and delightful event, especially on the theme of New Southbound Plus, which everyone, including us, has been looking forward to, because we have been waiting on what will New Southbound Plus be, and now we have learning a lot already. So I will have my talk today. I will start with a brief comment on the report of TAEF, and then I will move on to the larger picture, because the report will only reflect part of what is going on, the ongoing process of a larger picture. So I will touch briefly on the report first, and then give you a bigger picture of the relationship between Taiwan and Thailand. As a report conducted in 2021, I have no surprise to see that Thailand ranked Taiwanese business as #1 investor favorably. And also more than 90% of the people surveyed, they have a very positive image of Taiwan. They have interesting keywords like high technology, advanced, friendliness, delicacies, and high quality, which all these really reflect how we look at Taiwan. And also, because it was in 2021, I'm sure that many new words have been coming up already in 2025. Like I heard a lot from Thai people, like pineapple cake or mala hot pot, which is something Thai people know so well about Taiwan. This is because last year we have more than 1.2 million Taiwanese going to Thailand as your ambassador, the people to go to Thailand, and we have more than 500,000 coming from Thailand to Taiwan, these people and to people exchanges. So not only the business professionals that they know so well about Taiwan, but for the Thai business, Thai public in general, we have known Taiwan in many good ways too. Especially the respect for freedom and democracy in Taiwan is very cherished by the Thai public. And we share many similarities between Taiwan and Thailand. We are the first and second in the region to recognize the same-sex marriage, of course. So I will move on to the bigger picture of the relationship between Taiwan and Thailand. So before we dive into the contemporary relationship, I will take a look back at the history. So our modern history begins in 1963 when our King Bhumibol Adulyadej he visited Taiwan, and from that he was inspired by the agriculture advancement in Taiwan, and he took it back for our development of to eradicate poverty in northern Thailand and Hill tribes. So he started his agriculture project with the support of Taiwan. We call it Royal Project, which has been started in 1969 and it lasted until now. And with Taiwanese support, of course, great Taiwanese support. And nowadays, our relationship has been expanded into many areas from the starting of Royal Projects. The most recognizable relationship will be on people-to-people relationship and economic cooperation, of course. At the people-to-people level, it's best represented by the 150,000 Taiwanese, or more than 200,000 now, I would say, residing in Thailand, and more than 80,000 Thais in Taiwan, which this has summed up by more than 160 flights between Taiwan and Thailand, weekly, of course. Also, in our relationship, Taiwan and Thailand, we not only share similar names, which many of you might have experienced it when people in overseas ask, you're from Thailand, you're from Taiwan, and they thought that we are the same country, of course. We also have many characteristics that we share together, the respect for elderly, hospitality, kind hearts. So people Taiwanese in Thailand, they go there, they integrated, and they settle down well, and they become part of Thai society. And same as for the many Thais that we experience here, we talk to them here, they feel very at home in Taiwan. So we have many cooperation together on people-to-people side, and we will do even more. On economic cooperation, Thailand is, we have Taiwan as our fourth largest foreign investors and fifth largest trading partners. We have this very relationship that trade followed by investment. Our investment will grow. They import more from Taiwan, the Taiwanese investor, and they produce in Thailand and they re-export overseas. This is a model that many new Taiwanese investors can learn on. And last year, it was highlighted by the bilateral agreement we signed on promotion of investment, promotion and protection of investment between Taiwan and Thailand. Taiwan has also played a big role in helping our supply chain in Thailand to make Thailand a leading regional exporter of automotive and electronic sectors. And now Taiwan has the PCB industry, the whole cluster, they go on and invest in Thailand, which has upgraded our electronic sector to a new level. And now we can look beyond the PCB printed circuit board. We now can go into semiconductor and more advanced electronic technology. With that, I think we can still have more cooperation in the economic areas. Apart from semiconductors and AI, which everyone knows about Taiwan, I think we can still do more in biotechnology, green and low carbon industry, logistics, and many other potential cooperation. Also, Thailand is becoming one of the regional hubs for data center, which is something Taiwanese business can explore too. Lastly, I would say that Thailand Trade and Economic Office here is always here to support Taiwanese business who are interested in Thailand. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That provides a very important messages on Taiwan and Thailand relations, not only in terms of trade, in terms of tourism, but also in terms of new areas, including data center and also including other emergent sector. They are critical to Taiwan and also Thailand. And now I would like to turn to our fourth panelist, Mr. Iko Wijanarko. He's Director of Investment Department of Indonesian Economic and Trade Office to Taipei. And I have to admit that when we understand that when TAEF conducted the surveys in Indonesia and they have difficulties, quite challenging to find qualified respondents in Indonesia because they need to have business relation with Taiwan. So that kind of challenge actually reflect in Indonesia as the largest economy in Southeast Asia, and Taiwan just has to do a lot more in terms of understanding each other and also in terms of trade and also investment. So I think that survey provide very important information that we need to know each other further. So I would like to now invite Mr. Iko to respond probably to the survey or to any other thoughts you have on Taiwan operations in Indonesia and how we can improve and strengthen that. Please.
Thank you, Director Su and Dr. Alan, for insightful presentation on the image of Taiwan and Taiwanese businesses in Indonesia. The study reveals a positive image of Taiwan businesses among Indonesian professionals and also highlights areas for improvement, such as promoting Taiwan's soft power, local contribution, and also corporate social responsibilities. Since the study was conducted in 2020, both governments have made a significant efforts to improve Taiwan image in Indonesia. And this has led to outstanding progress on relation between Indonesia and Taiwan, particularly in education, economy, tourism, and culture. And first, in the education sector, actually at the moment there are more than 19,000 Indonesian students and young Indonesian professionals who study and live in Taiwan. Therefore, Indonesia Economic Trade Office to Taipei, IETO, has established, we call it IT Connects, or Indonesia-Taiwan Connects in 2023, in order to provide a channel for Taiwanese businesses to hire top Indonesian talent who live in Taiwan. The talent hired are expected to not only show their expertise, but also to introduce Indonesian culture and Indonesian business environment to their Taiwanese employers. By doing so, they will foster confidence among Taiwanese companies if in the future they want to invest in Indonesia. Furthermore, Taiwan government also provide a lot of scholarships for international students to study in Taiwan. And this is in line with the growing interest of Indonesian students to pursue their higher education in Taiwan. Based on the statistic, in 2020, there are more than 13,000 Indonesian students who study in Taiwan and keep growing. Last year, it's already over than 17,000 students, Indonesian students who study in Taiwan. Additionally, Indonesian government also provide scholarship, LPDP scholarship for Indonesian students who wants to study abroad, especially in Taiwan, to study semiconductor. Because one of our government focus at the moment is to develop a semiconductor industry in Indonesia. Secondly, on economic sector, the cooperation between Indonesia and Taiwan has flourished into a dynamic partnership that benefit to both regions. Based on the statistic, the investment inflow from Taiwan to Indonesia for the last 6 years has reached $1.73 billion and hired more than 89,000 Indonesian workers. And it is dominated by metal processing industry, textile, footwear, electrical machinery, rubber, plastic, and pharmaceutical industry. And in 2024, the Taiwan ranked 14 as the FDI source in Indonesia, jumped up 5 ranks from the 2023 achievement. And apart from investment, actually Indonesia and Taiwan also have great collaboration and cooperation in trading sector as well. The total trade between Indonesia and Taiwan last year already reached $10.6 billion, with Indonesia export to Taiwan worth $6.7 billion, dominated by coal, steel and metal, copper, and woods product. While Taiwan export to Indonesia is dominated by electronic, machinery, and also textile products. Furthermore, a lot of Taiwanese companies have actively participated in CSR activities in Indonesia. For example, through Tiga Roda Foundation or Buddha Suci Foundation, they organize so many CSR activities in Indonesia. For example, like social assistance, environmental conservation, healthcare, and education. The aim is to improve life and promote sustainable development in Indonesia. They also partnered with the many local Indonesian companies to expand their CSR initiatives and also to promote the positive impact. Lastly, on the tourism and culture sector, Indonesia Economic Trade Office to Taipei now focused on promoting and branding Indonesia tourism priority destinations such as Borobudur and Bromo. We are also actively participating in a lot of international exhibition event on tourism and culture to promote our foods, crafts, fashion, and traditions. Meanwhile, Taiwan government is aggressively promoting Taiwan's tourism destination in Indonesia. In February 2024, Taiwan Tourism Administration has established a service center in Jakarta to provide detailed information on top Taiwan tourism destination. And also, they hired Indonesian celebrity Mika Tambayong as Taiwan tourism ambassador to promote Taiwan tourism in Indonesia and foster cultural exchange between Indonesia and Taiwan. And actually the target is quite ambitious to achieve 500,000 Indonesian tourists to visit Taiwan. And in my view, I would like to suggest that in order to accommodate the growing number of Muslim tourists visit from Indonesia to Taiwan, Taiwan government should improve the availability of Muslim prayer spaces and also halal food option, especially in the tourism area. And we would like to also suggest to leverage Indonesia's incredible social media landscape. Taiwan may promote its soft power through social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, because Indonesia ranked 4th as the largest number of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We have more than 140 million people, active user in Indonesia. Therefore, Taiwan will be able to connect with millions of young and tech-savvy Indonesians. I think to conclude, I believe this positive impact, this positive momentum will continue to strengthen our bilateral ties and foster greater cooperation in the future to bring prosperity and stability to the regions. With that, I stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, especially for you pointing the the cultural differences between Taiwan and Indonesia or Taiwan and Muslim countries. As you mentioned that students, Indonesian students and tourists may find it difficult to find qualified halal certified restaurant or food here, though the government in the past years have tried to promote halal certified restaurants in Taiwan. But I still think we need to improve that. And also I just wonder, probably you can respond to that, I just wonder whether Taiwanese companies in Indonesia, they have they ever provide halal food to their employees in the factory. I think that would be also very, very important. So thank you very much. I hope that we can come back to these cultural differences again. And I want to now invite our fifth panelist, Mr. Le Quang Duan. He is the head of Economic Investment Division of the Vietnam Economic and Cultural Office in Taipei. And of course, most of you know that Vietnam has been the most important destination for Taiwan's outbound investment into Southeast Asian country, not only in terms of manufacturing industry, but also increasing small and medium-sized company and also services. So, the survey conducted in Vietnam was conducted in 2019 before COVID. So I believe we have a lot to update according to Vietnam's perception of Taiwan. And so I would like to ask you to provide your thoughts on the recent development and how Taiwan already building a strong tie with Vietnam, how we can go further based on this existing ties. So Mr. Duan, please. I understand that you prepare a PowerPoint slides. No, okay. So please.
好，谢谢许院长，也感谢那个玉山论坛的主办单位，也邀请我们今天代表驻台北越南经济文化办事处，来有机会分享给大家一些关于那个台湾和越南的那个在经济贸易的那个合作的信息。首先大家也知道的，越南是一个那个稳定的经济迅速发展。经过那个我们30多年的那个改革开放以后的，我们的经济每年增长都6到7%，尤其是在那个疫情之前的那个很多大家也知道了，很多那个各国的经济都那个负增长，但是我们那个虽然还没有达到那个5到7%就像增长的，不过我们还是保留那个经济增长。去年我们的 GDP 增长已经达到7%，已经是那个亚洲那个前几名的那个增长那个最高的。我们今年的 GDP 增长是那个目标是8%。在我们那个经济增长的那个过程中的外商占了一个很重要的一个部分，尤其是台商的。可能很少人知道，那个台商是最早的外商来越南投资。在我们经济发展的过程中，台商占了非常的重要的位置，也有很多贡献给我们越南经济发展。从30多年前，台商在越南投资都有转变很多的。按照那个世界的变化，台商也有一些改变的。从最开始的就比较传统的一些领域，比如是纺织、皮鞋、木材等等，到现在的特别从中美贸易发生后的，很多台商的电子类高科技工业已经到越南投资，让我们越南北部慢慢已经形成一个电子生产的聚落。大家也知道，我们越南最近那个也有推动发展半导体。我们集中在设计和封装的一个那个阶段的。我们的目标也有计划的目标，就是到30年， 有5万个那个越南在半导体的人士，所以我们最近几年也有一些推动跟台湾在半导体的合作。在越南现在也有很多越南学生来台湾学习的在半导体之类的。大家也知道的那个最近很多那个媒体也有讲的，我们越南政府最近也有重组的，我们把一些那个政府的部门那个合并起来。然后也有一些那个越南的地方政府，现在是63个省市，在将来几个月会降低到34个省市，并且我们把那个在中间的那个县政府已经那个取消掉，是为了让那个行政的单位可以那个提高效率、效果，服务那个企业。包括那个外商来越南投资的企业的，所以那个我们在将来会提高那个越南的就会提高那个企业服务的那个效率效果，包含那个外商之内。最近很多那个台商来越南投资的，也有跟我们那个提出越南那个。缺地或者缺工的，我在这也可以再确认一下，越南现在有400多个工业区的，所以不会有缺地。只是那个我们最近的大家也知道的，也有除了台商，还有韩国，也有日本，也有中国大陆来投资的，所以土地的也初步也有增加的。还有很多那个台商也跟我讲，那个越南缺工，越南的确就是普通劳工就不会缺的，然后那个在那个高质量的人士，那个我们每年那个大学毕业有将近200万个学生毕业的，所以不会是那个缺工，不过也有一个初步的现象，就是那个工程师，特别就是电子类和那个高科技的那个人士，我们那个在局部的也有一些短缺，特别就是会用中文的那个工程师，所以我们最近几年也有很多大学生就开放那个学中文，所以。过去几年的那个不会那个有缺那个工程师会用中文的，是因为那个时间有限，所以我有那个简单的那个初步的一些那个关于台越的那个在经济投资的合作，也有给大家那个分享一下信息，谢谢大家收听，谢谢。
Thank you very much, Mr. Duan. We have now, you didn't mention, there are, some of you may not know that there are around more than 100,000 Vietnamese spouses living in Taiwan. I think they also serve as a very important vehicle for Taiwan to better understand Vietnam, and also vice versa. Now we have listened to 5 panelists' comments on the survey and also on Taiwan image in their country. And now I would like to invite the last speaker, Mr. Simon Wang. He's currently the president and also CEO of Taiwan External Trade Development Council, TAITRA, which is the most important trade promotion organization in Taiwan. And also, they do a lot of activities here in Taiwan and also abroad to promote Taiwan image. So I want to invite Simon to address on this Taiwan image and also Taiwanese business image in this country, and how do you feel about the survey, and how we can further improve based on these findings. Simon, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Christy, for your introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very pleased to be invited to share some thoughts on Taiwan image perceived by probably Southeast Asian nations or South Asia or other parts of the world. let me begin by saying, let's say, since 2017, TAITRA, Taiwan External Trade Development Council, has been organizing Taiwan expos in Southeast Asia as well as South Asia. And in 11 cities, 33 Taiwan expos in 11 cities. And there are, 51,000 companies, Taiwanese companies, participated in the show, in the trade fair. And we have drawn some 770,000 visitors visited the fair, and generated $2 billion of business opportunities. So I think Taiwan Expo has posed some influence on our interchange between, particularly in the business field, but between our interchange between Taiwan and Southeast Asia as well as South Asia, India, for example. But actually the Taiwan Expo does not just cover business sector, but also education, tourism, and culture. I understand that the survey done by just presented by Dr. Yang. The survey started in 2019, and our Taiwan Expo started in 2017. Probably our activities have some contribution to the results of the survey. I hope so. Well, let me take this opportunity to share with you some of the evolution of Taiwan image perceived by foreign businesses. Some 40 years ago or even earlier, as a trade promoter, I have to travel around to promote Taiwan products. And during the time, there were not so many people who can travel around, particularly for those tours, for tourist purposes, right? But I'm for the business purpose. And when I arrived at the destination, I started to promote, and I was often asked, "Where are you from, Mr. Wang?" I said, "I'm from Taiwan." "Thailand? I know Thailand, but unfortunately I don't eat spicy food." So I would say that marked the period of who are you? Who are you? I mean, the visibility of Taiwan was very low, okay? And Taiwan's recognition globally is very low. And then in 1987, there was a movie, I'm not sure if you watched this or not, it's called Fatal Attraction, 1987, starring Michael Douglas and Glenn Close, including the scene that they exited a restaurant in a rain and holding an umbrella, and the umbrella was not strong. It broke immediately after they went out. And Glenn Close complained, "It's made in Taiwan, isn't it?" So the audience was exploded with laughter. So that marked the period of, I know Taiwan, I know you, I know Taiwan, but it's no good. We've got no good impression on Taiwan. And then, between late 90s and early 2000s, if you ask business professionals about Taiwan, and they will tell you, I know Taiwan. My personal computer and my laptop come from there. So this is how the brand Asus has made their name internationally, globally, right? And today, Taiwanese companies are very good at servicing their customers, right? They develop their, electronic manufacturing service, and has made themselves as the world's largest of its kind with a market share of over 90% of electronic manufacturing services. So nowadays, you see smartphones, laptop, iWatch, and all kinds of these electronic gadgets or products are manufactured or assembled by Taiwanese companies. And this marked the period of, I know you, I know Taiwan, and you're not bad. You're not bad, all right? And then 2 weeks ago, on March 4th, Taiwan time, there was a gentleman who is in manufacturing business, right? Who's in manufacturing business without owning any brand, who provides actually manufacturing service. Chairman and CEO of CC Wei, of TSMC, was invited to White House together with President Trump to announce an investment of $100 billion in semiconductor manufacturing in the United States, which is regarded as the single largest investment in US history. So, and then, nowadays, I would say in around 2013, 10 years ago, electronic components and IT products accounted for Taiwan's exports with around 36%. Nowadays, the figure went up to 65%, 2/3, 65%. And I noticed, the time's up. My last word, Osaka Expo 2025 will be unveiling, if you notice the news, will be unveiling next month, April 13th, last to October 13th, half year about. And we at Taitra will showcase our commitment to a prosperous future society by using technology to co-create and to foster connection and cooperation. And we believe that technology has the power to make the world a better place. That's the image we like to have on your minds. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing what Taitra has been doing to promote Taiwan, also Taiwan image. And I'm glad that the movie with Michael Douglas, I don't think many of you know him, is already 40 years ago, 30-some years ago, and now we have a new image which include bubble tea, fried chicken, computers, as well as the most advanced technology. So I think we have around 10 minutes left. I want to invite some of you, if you have any comments or questions, to raise your hand. And so we may allow one or two questions. And I would like to save some minutes for our panelists to wrap up this session. So please introduce yourself and also identify the panelists you want to address. Please just go ahead. I think it's already turned on.
Good morning, I'm Josiah from the Philippines. I am with Pacific Forum's Young Leaders Program. I would just thank you panelists for an enlightening session. I would like to focus on the issues surrounding migrant workers in Taiwan, especially there's around 760,000, and of which 200,000 are domestic workers and 160,000 are Filipinos. So there are issues surrounding about the lack of labor protection, as well as the lack of foreign labor programs from origin countries, especially from the Philippines, Indonesia, and others. And I would just like to ask are there concrete steps within the NSP Plus framework that Taiwan and partner countries would take to adequately address these issues surrounding migrant workers in Taiwan that could potentially affect its image in the world? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. I believe, of course, it is migrant workers issue in Taiwan is very important, and nowadays not only Taiwan but also Southeast Asian countries pay a lot of attention. I think this you also address one of the issue reflected in our survey, because though most of the correspondent business professionals in different Southeast Asian countries have very positive score towards Taiwan's being friendly, being respecting laws and rules of law, but also they also point the issues that in some cases Taiwanese employers may not treat their employees well or provide equal opportunity for promotion. I think this also reflects different aspect of this workers issue. So I believe the New Southbound policy plus will have a lot of discussion on this area. So I think we have some time, but I think this is very important, also urgent, because I want to ask each of you to respond in 1 minute. How do you think that under Trump 2.0 and under Taiwan's changing economic relation with Southeast Asian country, and how Taiwan can further cooperate with your country in terms of further working with local community, and also not as an isolated community, but actually creating a win-win relation partnership with your with workers and also business sectors in your country. Just 1 minute, please. I'll start with Mr. Ye.
I think I think Taiwan is going in the right direction in terms of building up more resilience across many sectors, including in the economic sector. I think with Singapore, I think we are actually then looking together with Taiwan in terms of how we can strengthen both existing areas in terms of the changes of the global supply chain, as well as looking for new areas. I am very happy to say, apart from, of course, electronics is a very, very big and important component, but we are looking at new areas. I think, like, for example, the President Lai has been putting a lot of focus on the healthcare industry. I think that is something that we're looking very, very carefully on and seriously on, and because there are a lot of similar kind of challenges that we face. And of course, a lot of opportunities. I was just talking to the Deputy Minister for Health yesterday on how we can actually pull together resources, data to do more research, especially in the AI sector and in the healthcare sector to actually improve the cooperation between the two sides. Thank you.
Thank you. And 40 seconds, please.
What Taiwan is already doing right now, it's on the right path already. I think the difference is, more on which areas to go a bit deeper, a bit faster, a little more. Excuse me. Excuse me. There are, as I mentioned earlier on, for Malaysia at least, and Taiwan, 2024 was a record year. Taiwan has surpassed Japan in terms of Malaysia's highest trading, in terms of Malaysia's trading partner, ranking number 4, with at least a $35 billion lead, and that's something quite historical for us, I think, in the last 5 years at least. Now, that as a cue, what it really means is that our economies, our supply chain resilience is very much complementary to each other. It's not really competing because we do the same things, but only in different intensity. There'll always be that importance, and I think that what we are already doing with Taiwan and what Taiwan is already doing with us in terms of our trade, our investment opportunities, and investments, I think for the region, I think Taiwan ranks number 1. Malaysia ranks number 1, or Taiwan ranks number 1. And it's representative of it all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please. Yes.
Thank you. I think Taiwan is on the right path in terms of Thailand. But one area I would like to emphasize that can do more further is on education, human resource development. Okay. Because more and more investors going to Thailand from Taiwan, they can need a lot of human resources. And I think Taiwan has abundance of a good education institution and technology, which you can provide assistance in Thailand, which will become the human resource for Taiwanese firm in Thailand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then Ms. Iko Wijanako.
Okay, thank you, Director Shu. Actually, Donald Trump 2.0 creates uncertainty, but also opportunity, especially in Indonesia, in terms of relationship with Taiwan. Actually, this is the best moment, especially in the textile and footwear manufacturing industry. Actually, this sector is ranked second as the biggest Taiwanese investment in Indonesia. There are a lot of big names like Pao Chen, Lai Yi, Pai He. They already invest in Indonesia. And actually we prepare Central Java as the next investment destination for textile or footwear industry from Taiwan to Indonesia. And this year we are finishing up the EU CEPA, European Union Comprehensive Economic Partnership with Indonesia. Hopefully by finishing this EU CEPA, there will be no tariff to export the Taiwan product to Europe. And hopefully Indonesia will not get the higher tariff from Donald Trump in the future. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
That is really good news. And Mr. Lei?
Yes.
13 seconds, please.
大家也知道的，那个越南和美国的有比较独特的关系的。我们双方已经从2023年已经升级外交关系到全面战略伙伴的，所以我们双方都有比较特别的一些那个对话的，会处理一些双方还有存在的问题，特别是贸易的那个逆价。我们的那个商务部长前几天已经去拜访美国，双方已经那个拜会，然后谈好一些那个双方会处理一些双方的贸易逆价。我相信的那个在将来也有很多国家一样的，我们也会增加购买美国的产品，美牛、美猪、美国食品、水果都有那个在越南都非常会受欢迎。美国总统的那个川普，那个在他第一任的时候是唯一总统是2次拜访越南的，所以他对越南，我们相信会有一定的感情，并且我们双方那个正在越南和美国会很积极推动双方的在不只是贸易，在经济，在其他领域也会推动双方的那个合作。所以会那个贸易只是一个那个部分的，我们会有推动其他的那个合作的那个领域，会增加越南和美国的那个关系更密切的。谢谢。
Thank you very much. And Simon, I'm sorry, I have to skip you. The time is really up. Okay, so I think this is a very timely and very useful and helpful session. I would now conclude the session, and I want you, every one of you, to join me in thanking all these panelists and also for TAEF for conducting such surveys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.